Hi there. How to stop passive-aggressive behaviors from ruining your relationship. In previous videos, I discussed the characteristics of a partner with passive-aggressive behavior. Well, I suggest if you haven't seen it, then to have a look at those videos, because it's definitely worthwhile to understand these issues. Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. I'm, of course, Nachi Sinha, and in today's video, which is the second last in this series of passive-aggressive behaviors, we will discuss an important aspect of how to stop passive-aggressive behavior from ruining your relationship. So hang in, and hopefully you'll find something useful from this video. Let's go. Relationships, are important, and so is learning to express anger and opinion in a healthy way. It will not only help you in excelling in life, but will also enable you to, and all the couples out there, to solve conflicts instead of letting them simmer away. And don't forget that this also helps with other relationships as well. A lot of couples neglect each other's feelings, which leads to the development of passive-aggressive and behaviors and several conflicts. These conflicts further destroy the relationship rather than keeping it moving forward in a healthy manner. Today, what we're going to talk about is based on an example, and I want you to listen carefully because some of you might find it very relatable. So, for example, let's think about this couple. So, every Saturday, Emma and, say, Louis. Emma and Louis leave their daughter with a babysitter, and they go out to spend some time together. Emma hopes that by doing this, she'll be able to light up the lost spark in their marriage. So she puts on a new dress, something that's kind of out of her comfort zone, and that is why she hesitates a bit to show herself in a new dress to her partner. So when her husband smiles and shakes his head in surprise, saying that she looks very different, Emma feels a bit crushed. But she chooses to stay quiet. Though she didn't stop herself from feeling differently. So she feels very self-conscious and nervous, and she decides not to wear something like that specific dress ever again. Now, this very same night when the couple is about to sleep, Louis leans over to kind of kiss and tell Emma that they had a nice time and so on, but Emma ignores it. Now, for the rest of the week, Emma continues to think of her dress and her husband's reaction. She pretends to neglect the feelings of her husband, and even when he tries to show love, Emma ignores all of his gestures. So just after a few days, Emma is upset and is fuming, but controls her feelings, just so she doesn't have to ask her husband about, what did you mean by looking different? She can't find courage to express her feelings and communicating the truth about how she actually felt. So she keeps that pain inside and is hurting and is also now overthinking the entire episode. Now, here Emma tends to do a sort of a mistake because she could have just asked her husband, and Lee would have surely told her the truth about what he meant and how he'd never seen her in something like that before, which is why it caught him off guard, but that he liked how she looked. So Emma's behavior towards her husband is a classic example of passive-aggressive behavior. Now, it is, and don't get me wrong, this could easily be the other way around, so don't make this into a sexist sort of thing, because that's not what this is. So Emma's behavior towards her husband is a classic example of, what the passive-aggressive behavior we're talking about. It is the indirect anger or expression by someone who's uncomfortable to express their feelings directly or honestly. So if couples have a healthy relationship with anger and with each other, then they know when one of them is upset. and they discuss the points that trigger them and find a closure to it rather than keeping it hidden and letting it sort of develop into its own thing and become its own narrative, which essentially is a false narrative. You see, the way we have grown up, we believe that anger is a negative thing, it's scary, and it's not to be allowed in our lives. But we don't learn how to feel it and how to express it in a healthy way so that it's beneficial and serves the purpose of what it is. So even the passive-aggressive behavior is a learned behavior. It can, be changed. I mean, anything that's learned can be unlearned. So to help you confront, your partner and deal with passive aggression, here are a few steps that you might need to practice a bit because you do have the power to change. At times when passive aggression emerges during a conflict or in the heat of the moment, here's a few tricks, a few steps that might help you. Number one, talk it out. Yes, there is nothing better than communicating, talking it out in a calm way. Now, don't assume things in that moment or even the feelings of your partner. Instead, ask your partner about their feelings. Number two, chill out. When a conflict emerges, there can be a negative headspace, the way we think, that causes the person to behave in a passive-aggressive way. Now, couples tend to do this for escaping the situation, but it's not the right solution. It's not the right way of handling it. So take a minute and let things calm down a bit. Chill out. Then the situation kind of settles down a bit before you are approaching the issue. Number three, think. Well, for making a relationship successful, two people have to work together. It's never supposed to be one-sided. I mean, it just doesn't work like that. So think and brainstorm the situation and come up with a solution together. While you do this, make a list of pros and cons so that you end up getting some effective solutions which work for both of you. Number four, a win-win. The best solution or the best situation is to find a solution where both members, can win the most and lose the least. So a win-win situation is when a couple benefits together. We benefit together as a couple, not one versus the other. Number five, implementation. After you find an effective solution, work on implementing it. I mean, a wish isn't a plan, and a plan doesn't mean that it's getting done. These things have to be linked together. Now, it might take some time to see results of your desired solution, but remember, patience is the key. And hard work is required to implement things. You can't just think away the problem. Number six, evaluate. Once you implement your solution, you should always get back to evaluate it. Now, think of the question, was it actually the best solution for you? If not, then what went wrong there? Talk about it, and you will find that by doing this, you will be heading towards a space of a healthy relationship where, discussions can be had, difference of opinion is tolerated, and in general, it's a safe space. Now, with these steps and a positive mindset towards any conflict, you can definitely protect your relationship from getting, ruined by passive-aggressive behavior. little changes can help you go a long way. Well, apparently nothing is impossible, right? And that wasn't me being sarcastic. I wasn't being passive-aggressive either when I said that. Having said that, I think you have gained enough knowledge in today's video that you can surely implement a bit to protect your relationship and kind of act wisely. So I'm hopeful that you would sort of, know how to tackle a conflict without letting, passive aggression take over. And that you're going to be able to stop the passive aggressive behavior from ruining the relationship. The last video of this series is going to be very interesting and informative. Hopefully you'll like it too. And I will see you there. In the meantime, as always, if you find there are things bothering you, then reach out and ask for help. But help does make a difference. So thank you. Take it easy. And look after yourself. And I'll see you again with another video in the series on passive-aggressive behaviors. Take care.